Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. I am Darian. Let's talk about creating the life that you want. So I believe that we are creative beings. We were created to create. And I believe we've been given the ability to structure and curate our life the way we like it. We have the option to create good or bad. And I truly do believe that we get these ideas that we may think are random ideas of a certain way that we want to live, whether it's the luxury lifestyle. Everybody has their own desires in their life. Some people may want to live like on a farm and have a ranch and all these different things. Some people may want to live in a high rise. Some people may want a lot of children. Some people may want one or two. Some people may not want any at all. Some people see themselves being married and some people don't. Some people may want to travel the world and some people may not have any interest in that. So we all have different viewpoints of what we would consider that pinnacle of success in our lives. And I just want to give you some pointers and tips that I believe can be helpful for anybody who is looking to kind of just get a grasp on how you can create the life you want. So I believe that we oftentimes have these visions or these things that we see ourselves having, our life, where we want to be and where we want to go. I believe that most of the time these visions are happening, these ideas or these thoughts is because it is where we are supposed to be. It is where we're destined to be. Some people are just destined to walk in great wealth and be millionaires and billionaires. Some people are destined to have their own business. Some people are destined to maybe have your own makeup line. Maybe you're meant to be a talk show host. Whatever it is, we all have these different ideas that we can see ourselves walking in and being in. And usually it is because it is for us. Now, there are different reasons why some people may not have reached those things that they may have envisioned. It could just be a timing thing. Maybe the timing hasn't even come up for those things to come to pass, but it could be coming to pass in the near future. It could just be that the people who are having these visions just don't know where to start. And if you're just sitting on something and expecting it to just pop out the sky and just happen for you, I don't believe that most things happen that way. Usually not the great things, at least. Some people are willing to put in the work. Some people have put some work into these things, but they have been met with resistance. And some people just have not put in any work and they have not seen the fruit of the things that they want to happen in their lives. But I truly do believe that we have been equipped with the power to make things happen in our lives, to see the type of life that we want to see. So the first thing that I want to touch on is you have to believe that you can be there, because if you don't believe that you can be in a specific place in life or that you can attain something or attain a goal, whatever it may be for you, it's going to be pretty hard for you to actualize the actions that need to be put in place to make things happen for you. If you see yourself making all these millions and having a specific business or being financially abundant, if you don't see yourself actually being in that place, but you want to be in that place, you don't believe that you can attain it or get there, it's going to be harder to put in that work. It's going to be harder to get up and be disciplined and continue to show up for whatever it is that you need to do to get there each and every day if you don't believe that it's even attainable for you. Yes, maybe you may have seen it, but you don't believe that you deserve it or you're worthy of it. If you believe that you are worthy of something, then your actions and the way you move are going to say that I believe I'm worthy of this. Believing in something empowers you to move from that space and to move from that place. So if you believe you're meant to be rocking all these Chanels and having all these nice things and living in this lavish lifestyle that you want, you have to be willing to first believe that you can attain these things and figure out what you are meant to do to get these things. If you want to obtain a good love and a good relationship in your life, you need to believe that you are worthy of that. Because if you do not believe that you are worthy of that, it doesn't mean that you can't have somebody in your life or attract somebody to love you. But a lot of times it does end up being that your actions don't show that you want this good love or that you're ready for love. And so when you do have somebody that comes in your life, you may be attracting people that may not be good to you or that may not be given what you feel that you deserve, because your actions being reflected back to them say that you don't believe that you're worthy of a good love. So you're willing to tolerate certain things that you probably would not tolerate if you believe that you were worthy of more, or if you believe that you're worthy of having somebody better or that would treat you better in your life. And of course, that's an example. Everyone has their different things in life, or they meet their person at different times. But essentially speaking, when you believe something, when you believe you're worthy of something, your actions will be more likely to show that you believe that you're worthy of these things. You're going to be more likely to do things that are leading you to the very things that you want, that are leading you to the very things that you know you deserve. If you don't believe that you're worthy of something good, you'll be more likely to settle in what is just available for the now, which can actually block the blessings or block you from getting to that greater or the best place that you know you are meant to be and the things that you know you are meant to have. So with that being said, know what you want. And in knowing what you want, work on your heart posture towards that thing. Work on believing that you can obtain these things. Work on believing that you even deserve these things. That this can actually be your life. It doesn't have to just be something that just is in your mind, a vision that you've had, or just something that you've seen. Work on actually knowing that these things can be attainable for you in your life if you do the things that are necessary for you to reach these places. Once you know and believe that you are meant to have a certain thing, I believe that it is so important to find out what you need to do to get there. For instance, let's just say you have this dream to have this candle business and you see it prospering. Maybe you want to do luxury candles, whatever your vision may be. Find out what you need to do to make it happen. What classes do you need to take so that you can learn how to properly make a candle if you don't already know? What resources do you need? What do you need to make that candle look how you have envisioned it to look? I don't feel that people are making business cards as much, unless they're in specific areas, as it seemed to be more popular back then. Although I do believe that people are still utilizing that as a resource. Of course, I have seen some even as of recently. But I have found that in today's time, a lot of people are using social media to grow their businesses and to get their name and their company out there. So what platforms can you utilize to get this specific product or thing that you are trying to reach the masses out there so that it can prosper and grow and have more people talking about it and seeing it, and cause you to get to where you're trying to go. Even if it starts out small, as you're just making candles for the people around you and word of mouth travels that way. But what can you do to get this thing up and running? I know firsthand that businesses can be a little bit unpredictable in how they'll grow, and what may work for one person may not work for you. But once you find your niche and once you find what works for you and run with it, I do believe that that can cause more doors to open as you continue to be consistent and fight through the different waves and the different seasons and timings of whatever the business or whatever the thing may be. A lot of times what I have found is that people that have reached that great success, or that may be in a place that we may look at them and be like, oh, they made it, they're successful. Those people continue to push through even when it seemed like nothing was happening. Those people usually continue to seek out opportunities or find somebody that believed in them. Even if that person didn't believe in them or this person didn't believe in them, those people continue to seek the people that were going to help them to get to where they needed to go. And it may have happened quicker for them than others, or it may have taken years. It could have taken 5 years, 10 years, however long. But if you're quick to give up on things, it can be hard to see certain things manifest in your life. A lot of times we believe that because we have this dream and this desire and we feel it right now, that means it's supposed to happen and manifest in this very moment. But it could just be the inspiration rising up in you so that you can just start the process, so that you can start to prepare for this journey of obtaining, creating, or making this thing happen in your life. Oftentimes, somebody may see failure as they weren't good enough to make it happen, but I have found that a lot of people who may have gone through something that may have seemed like a failure continue to push through, and with time, they ended up reaching that major goal or that major thing that they were meant to be doing. They saw that great success because they did not give up on what they knew they were supposed to be doing, or they did not give up on that vision that they saw themselves walking in. Just because you may feel like the people around you maybe have seen you fall or maybe have not supported or whatever, that don't matter, okay? What matters is where you know you are going, because I guarantee you that some of those people are probably watching you. Some of those people are probably watching how you're doing this or how you're making this happen. And even if they have seen you in a place where it may look like you have failed or it didn't happen, when they see you at the top, it's going to be a whole different story, okay? So continue to push through, because you never know when that moment will happen where you reach that breakthrough or where you get to where you're trying to go. You have to learn to be resilient in life, because you never know how life will go. So you can be working towards something or trying to make something happen or trying to attain certain things in life, and you don't know which way this thing can go. So resilience is necessary in obtaining the things that you want. You can't just be quick to give up because one thing went wrong or one thing did not go the way that you thought it would have gone. It does not necessarily mean that you're on the wrong path, but maybe you're just being redirected, because the path to getting what you want, or the path to get into that place that you're trying to get, just may require you to shift a bit. I have seen some situations where it has taken people longer to get to a certain place, but because it took them longer, they were able to gain a lot more knowledge and wisdom versus the person that kind of just jumped in and got into the place. But that person could have gotten to that place at the right time for them. So there's different ways that we can look at life. If this person who took longer to get what they wanted would have gotten it sooner, maybe they wouldn't have been able to make it last, or maybe it wouldn't have been as prosperous as it can be now in their life. And now they can continue to keep this thing. They can continue to maintain what they have obtained. Maybe this other person was ready and already available to be able to maintain the very thing that they have wanted. So remember to focus in on what you want in your life and follow your path. Don't get caught up in the different paths out here and what other people are doing and how it's working for them and how quickly they got to what they got to. Just as long as you know that you are on that path to getting what you are wanting and putting in the work to get to where you are going, because some people, it's just a timing thing. At that right time, it'll take off. At that right time, it'll happen. At that right time, things will go forth. But in that time of waiting, or where it may seem like it's not happening quick enough, or it's not happening in the time that you may have expected, that is the time to prepare for what you want. Let's say your dream is to have all these millions. You could now be preparing how to manage and maintain and learning how to keep up with all these things. Sometimes we have these great visions and these ideas of where we want to be, but we don't understand the ins and outs of maintaining a thing once we get certain things, or once we're in new places and new spaces and having new experiences. Sometimes we have to go through a little process of learning those things. So if you have the time, then utilize that time. Whatever you want to obtain in your life, do research and see how you can best prepare for the things that you want in your life. I believe that one of the most scariest things is to pray and work and fight for something for so long and for so hard, and then when it finally gets there, just to feel so overwhelmed and like you can't maintain or manage it. So I definitely do believe in the power of preparation before certain things happen in your life. Okay, the next thing I want to touch on is getting rid of the wrong people in your life. If you know that you picture yourself living a certain type of lifestyle, or you want to go to a certain place, and the people around you just don't have that same vision, they're speaking down on what you want to do, or they feel like because they haven't been able to obtain what maybe they want to obtain, they are trying to smear whatever dream and hope that you have in your heart. You have to understand that these are not the people that you want to keep in your life. You don't want to keep people in your life that are going to distract you from doing what you need to do to get to where you are trying to go. I am not saying that just because you have a different vision than somebody else that you have to just automatically just cut them out of your lives, or just because they may not fully understand something that means you can never talk to them again or anything like that. I'm more so specifically talking about the people that are going to be hindrances to where you are trying to go in your life. So depending on how you're able to manage the different people in your life, it may actually hinder you from progressing. Or even think about it like this. Let's say that you're working on a business, but the people that you're surrounded by don't know anything about business, and they don't care that you're working on a business. It's just about like when I call, let's go hang out, that's probably going to hinder you and hold you back from getting to that lifestyle that you want to. You see yourself on private islands and vacationing, all these things, but they don't necessarily see themselves being able to obtain that. So having someone around you that does not believe in the same vision, or that does not see their own selves being able to attain certain things, can actually be a hindrance to you in your life, because they could unintentionally, honestly, I believe that sometimes it's just unintentional. It can be subconscious, hinder you from that because they themselves don't even believe that they can have that. So why would they encourage you and push you to have those things also if they don't even see it for themselves? So just be mindful of the connections that you have around you and who is speaking into you. I definitely do believe in the power of mentors, and I definitely do believe in surrounding yourself around people who are either where you are, or they can help you to get where you're going. But again, also, they may have that mindset to where they may mentor you, but they may not necessarily be at a place where they feel comfortable allowing you as a friend. And you have to be okay with that too, because there are situations where some people may be at a higher level, and it wouldn't necessarily be fair for them to just hand out what they had to fully build and work towards. Doesn't mean that they can't help or give back to those who are coming up after them, but you have to also understand that mindset and understand the way that they may see things also. Also be mindful that as you're building and creating the life that you want, if you have people around you that are not building and creating the life that they want, you have to use wisdom in that, because some people may see you as a threat. Some people may see you as, oh, they're elevating, they're expanding, they're going to greater places, but I'm still stuck here. So use wisdom in that also. While you're creating the life that you want, you have to also make sure that you have the right boundaries around you, that you are protecting the very things that you're building up, because one, everyone may not understand, and there are some people, which I have myself dealt with situations like this, there are some people who are waiting for the opportunity to pounce and sabotage or destroy the very things that you're trying to build. You're trying to build this great life for yourself. Maybe you want to be married. Maybe you want to travel the world. Maybe you want to start this business. Maybe you just see yourself having nice things, whether it's luxury or designer. If they don't see themselves having that, and they don't see it working for them and happening for them, usually they're not trying to continue to support you and build you up in that lifestyle that they're wanting for themselves also. Okay, so this next thing is pretty straightforward. Take the opportunities that are leading you in the direction that you want to go. So let's say you're trying to build generational wealth, or you're trying to build wealth and knowledge in a certain thing. Maybe it could be real estate or whatever. Take whatever opportunities are available to you. Let's say someone calls you up and say, hey, I have a course here. Maybe see if that course is going to be beneficial to you, to where you're trying to go. Or maybe there's a free event, or event that genuinely just does not cost much, or even if there is a cost to it, see if that is an opportunity where you can network and meet more people that are in that space, or that are where you're trying to go. Maybe let's say you have this dream to be on stage and do something like that. Take the opportunity to go on auditions, or things that are going to pull you in that direction. It may not be exactly where you see yourself in the end, but if it's close enough to where it could benefit you in a way, take those opportunities. You never know how often certain opportunities will come up. And if you know that this is something that will take you to the next level, or that could help to build your resume or whatever, just be mindful of the different opportunities and to take them. I remember when I received an opportunity by email, and at the time I just felt like, I don't know if I really want to respond to this. I just didn't know if I was ready or capable of doing it, and the opportunity passed me by, but it was a learning lesson for me. So when the next opportunity came that was pretty much the same opportunity but a little greater, I took that as, I need to take this opportunity. But all opportunities don't always make their way back around in life. So use wisdom in which opportunities to take and which ones to leave behind. But definitely take those ones that could be beneficial for you in the long run. Okay, let's talk about the next thing, which is you got to get some discipline. If you really want something in your life, you have to find that discipline to help you to get to where you're trying to go, or obtain what you're trying to have. And I feel like this can be literally in so many situations. Let's say that you want a certain type of lifestyle. There's gonna have to be some type of discipline in your routine that's going to help you to maintain and keep that certain lifestyle, whether it's financially, whether maybe it's a certain type of person that you're trying to be with. You have to look at your life and factor in what you are bringing and what you are carrying. Is it enough for me to be able to maintain and keep this certain thing? And that can be from so many different angles. If it is like a job or career or something like that, usually there's a certain standard that you're going to have to maintain to continue on a certain path. Or even your own business, usually there's a certain level of discipline you're going to have to be able to put enough time into that business for it to grow and thrive. If you have people calling you all the time, people taking your time away because y'all are out partying or hanging out all the time, you're the one with the business. So if these other people don't have a business, maybe they're just showing up to a place to get paid or whatever. But if this is like your income, you have to really think about the time that you need to put in this certain thing. Everybody's life is different, so everybody can allocate different time for different things. But if this is something that you're trying to build, you have to be wise in how you're managing time and discipline. If you are just only working on something like once a month, versus if you get up each week and maybe put like an hour into it a day, you more than likely will see much more progress doing that than just working on something for a month. Of course, there's exceptions to most things, but very rarely are the exceptions a vast majority of the people in the case. So you have to factor in things like that. If you have a goal to be a certain size or weight, you have to factor in that you're going to have to be disciplined in one way or another. You're going to have to more than likely get up and work out, or make sure that you're eating really well, really clean, or that you're eating a certain amount to where you can maintain that certain weight. There are certain cases, but it's not common that a lot of people are able to just eat every single thing they want and not work out at all and be able to maintain this perfect figure. So if your figure being a certain way or being a certain size is something that you want to obtain, you're going to have to find a way that you can be disciplined in your life to reach that goal. Whether it's taking certain classes, whether it's going for walks throughout the week, whether it's eating this type of meals or food or this amount of food, you have to know what works for your life. I believe that it's so beneficial to have routine and having certain schedules in our lives, because I believe that it helps us to stay disciplined and stay in a certain direction. I have tried to actually live my life kind of from a free-flowing place, and it just hasn't always worked for me. I'm the type of person, I need to see what I want to do and what I want to accomplish. I need to see it on a list, and I like checking things off that way. Another person may be able to just free flow throughout their lives and still be as disciplined as they need to be, but find what works for you and just make sure that you have that discipline that you need in your life to make things happen the way that they need to happen. Along with discipline, I have found that consistency really is key in life. Remaining consistent, I have found, has helped me to continue to see results in my life in so many different areas. Okay, y'all, so the last thing that I want to talk on is preparation. I already kind of talked on this a little bit earlier, kind of loosely, but preparation, I believe, gives you the time to be ready for the life that you're asking for, to be ready for the specific type of lifestyle that you want. If you're not properly prepared, sometimes you can actually be thrown into something and not know how to manage or handle it, or how to upkeep and maintain it. So do as much preparation as you can for what you are asking for. If you're trying to start a business, prepare for those times where you may not be making as much as you may be making in another month, or prepare for an influx of clients. If you're praying and asking God to bring you all these clients and overflow, and you only have 10 things to sell, there's a disconnect in you being able to fulfill all of these orders. If let's say something goes viral and now you have 500,000 orders, that may be for somebody's life, you never know. But you want to make sure that you're prepared for what you're asking for and that you have everything set up so that you can receive what you are desiring. If you know that you want a certain type of lifestyle, you like certain type of things, you want to prepare for what may be expected for that. Do you have the finances stored away? Or even if you don't have it stored away, are you preparing financially so you can go out and obtain and buy and purchase these things? Are you prepared for what may come with having certain things from a luxury lifestyle? It's one thing to have something, but to actually be able to maintain it is another. Can you maintain being able to take it in and have it fixed, or having it repaired or worked on, or whatever the case may be, whatever the thing may be? So factor in those things also. Let's say that you are trying to prepare to have someone come into your life, and I'm speaking romantically. If you are used to being single, or you're used to doing things your way, you have to prepare your heart to allow another person to come in and be partnered with you. So it may be emotionally that you need to prepare in your life. It may be, maybe you need to work on healing certain places in your heart and certain areas in your heart so that you'll be able to even receive a person in your life. And let's say you have a desire to go on tour and maybe perform or different things like that. If you have not prepared to be away from home, maybe you weren't expecting to be away for that long, it can cause a shock in maybe your everyday routine or everyday life. Maybe you didn't expect to be pulled away from your normal routine for that long, being on the road that long, or being in new environments consistently for a long period of time. So make sure you're prepared even mentally for changes like that, and your heart is prepared for changes like that. I just want to encourage you to believe that you can have it. You have to be able to see yourself in these positions. It is me being able to see myself obtaining certain things that have given me the motivation and the drive and the inspiration to get there. Even seeing other people obtain it. If you're able to see other people obtain it and be inspired, that is a good thing. And not feel any less capable or qualified, that is such a good thing. Is a motivator for me. It shows me that somebody else was able to do this, so I know that I can do it also. So that is all that I have for this video. I hope that on your journey of creating the life that you want, that you don't settle for less, that you don't give up on getting to that place, and that you give yourself grace on your journey to creating the life that you want to live. Just make sure that you have joy and peace on your way to getting there. So I hope that you have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video. Bye.